Welcome back to NTV's Good Life. We promised you a very special guest, and we delivered. We're very happy to welcome Sindy Vossler with us today.
Yay.
Good morning. Joining the Good Life in our kitchen.
All the way from Elwood.
Beautiful.
Didn't have a far drive.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
thank you for being here.
It's great to be here finally.
Yeah.
It's been on my agenda for a long time.
Well, you check that off on
Yeah.
your bucket
I
list.
know.
Check that off. And when we were talking, she's like, well, I own a bed and breakfast. I can come cook. And I'm like, yeah. So tell everybody the name of your bed and breakfast.
It's House on the Hill Bed and Breakfast, and the bed and breakfast portion was opened 14 years ago, and then we started catering 13 years ago.
My
so
goodness.
we cater. And so this dish that we're going to make this morning is one of the dishes I learned to make when I was training in Italy to cook. So we're going to make Bolognese sauce,
wow.
which is
You trained in Italy?
Yes.
Well,
And why
doesn't
not?
everybody?
Okay, so
Maybe, oh, here, I'm going to give you my mic, just so you can tell everybody how we're doing things, and then I'll go get a mic myself. Oh, but so you
No,
trained
well,
in Italy.
Yes.
So what was your favorite thing about that?
All of the traditions that you just encapsulated while you were there. You just
Okay.
learned all of their things. We learned to make homemade ravioli and gelato, and we learned to make some fish dishes, which weren't necessarily my favorite.
okay.
So, because Europeans eat a lot of fish.
Yeah, I heard that. But you're teaching us how to make a bolognese. So what is a bolognese sauce?
Bolognese sauce for Americans is ragu. It's
Ragu,
meat
okay.
sauce.
Okay.
And it's called bolognese because it comes from the country of Bologna. That's
Oh.
where it originated.
Okay.
So we're going to get started because it's hard to make a pasta dish in that amount of time.
Okay.
The original recipe calls for 1 pound of hamburger. And then it says that you might adapt with Italian sausage or sausage, whatever you like.
Okay.
The batch that you guys are going to sample is made from Jimmy Dean's Italian sausage.
Okay, so is it better with sausage juice?
Yes.
Okay.
And I prefer sausage, and I actually am very partial to the Jimmy Dean's because it's so low fat you don't have to drain it, and the Italian already has all of the seasoning in it.
Yes.
Oh, that
so
makes
you
it
don't
easy.
have to do anything
And I'll
extra
take that.
to it.
Because a lot of times I'm like, my meat just tastes bland when you're doing
Yep.
something Italian. You want those seasonings in it.
Yes.
Yep.
So to that 1 pound, we are going to add, that Cindy already got ready at home.
Good job.
We are going to add 2.5 ounces of, and they say finely chopped, but I like minced because it's going to cook down, but not completely. Do you want to start chopping that in there for me?
Yes.
You can use those scissors
Okay.
and cut it in little pieces.
I'd be happy to do
1 teaspoon of garlic, which I already prepared.
Okay.
2.5 ounces of carrot, and 5 ounces, I believe the recipe says, of onion.
So you're kind of making a mirepoix type of thing.
Yep,
Oh,
and it's
Roddy,
gonna
what did
all
you just
cook
say?
together.
She said a big word there. She watches all, really.
I do.
And actually, the carrots, the celery, and the onion, and a lot of, because I've done Cajun cooking also, that's called the Holy Trinity. So you just want to make sure that you've got the proportions you like. The garlic was not originally in this recipe, but I really like garlic.
Makes
And my
everything
family
better.
likes garlic, so
It makes a difference, doesn't it? I mean, a little bit goes a long way.
that depth, yeah.
Now, do they cook with a lot of garlic in Italy?
It depends on the region you're in.
Okay.
So when I trained in Verona, which is outside Venice, and not so much there. Now in Sicily, more southern, they cook with a lot more
Okay.
seasonings,
Yeah.
and so it's kind of a taste,
Yeah.
preference. I thought I'd let you know a little bit of why Italians eat pasta almost every day and don't
And
gain
they're
weight.
thinner
That
than
was a
thin.
good question.
Yes.
Let me look at Giada, for instance.
Pasta is a course in Italy. It's not a meal. So when you eat in Italy, you eat like 5 courses in every meal. And your first one is going to be antipasto. It's going to be olives and vegetables and that kind of thing. You're going to have some pasta. You're going to have pizza. And every
As a course or as a?
As a course, and it's going to
Okay.
be real thin crust, and so it's not going to be super filling. It's not American pizza that we like. Which place has the most toppings?
Yeah, and
the
pan
thickest
pizza.
crust.
Make it as thick as you can.
Yeah.
And so it's a course. That's one reason people don't gain weight when they eat pasta in Italy. The other thing is they shy away from a lot of real heavy creamy sauces. A lot of the Italians eat
Really?
olive oil, tomato,
makes sense.
basils, just seasoned pasta. It's not like when we go and we want Alfredo or
Okay.
penne alla vodka, we want the creamy sauces. That's the other reason. Another reason is the flour that they use. So Durham flour is a hard wheat And so when you cook your pasta the Italian way, which is al dente, which means to the tooth, it has that little bit of, I don't think it's done. I have a hard time getting used to it.
Yeah, al dente
But it's
doesn't
still,
taste done.
it's still tough to
Yeah.
me. But the sugar hasn't broken down in it.
Oh.
Your glycemic index isn't going to raise if you eat your pasta to the tooth.
Okay.
So that, and unfortunately most of us when we go to the store buy the cheapest possible pasta we can, and that is going to be made out of good old Nebraska hard red wheat, hard wheat, which then breaks down. While that is hard, it's still softer than the durum, so it breaks down and your glycemic index goes through the
How's
roof.
this look?
Perfect.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, Carol's gonna add this to the hamburger, and then we're gonna finish
smells good.
making this bolognese sauce with Cindy when we come back, friends. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Oh, it
So
smells
good in
heavenly. We're very
here.
happy to have
So
Cindy
our
with us.
meat mixture is coming along nicely.
That's a nice pot too.
You want me to take that?
Yes, please. So I was just going to show how that's coming along. That's going to brown. And what we're seeing is a little bit of the grease off of the bacon. When this all cooks down completely, there won't be any grease left in there.
That smells so
That was 2
good.
slices of bacon.
Just 2 slices, and you want to cut it. That's why I cut it instead of using a knife, because you just can't get it snipped. You can go put that back on. Snipped as small as you'd like. So now I'm going to teach you a little trick I learned not in Italy. I learned this from being a mom cooking for sports and trying to figure out how to get pasta to a dish in catering and not have it be rubbery and gummy.
Exactly.
So I cooked this pasta at home last night, al dente.
Okay.
And I rinsed it, and it was cold. And now I'm going to put it back in boiling water for 2 more minutes.
Now, is that regular or is that
This is angel hair.
Yeah.
I love angel hair pasta.
So do you put any salt in your water?
When I cooked this at home, I cooked it with a teaspoon of salt for 1 pound, and I cooked it with a splash of olive oil.
Okay.
In Italy, they just teach you to cook it with olive oil. They don't do salt. They're really very healthy. They don't eat a lot of extra.
I always drown mine in salt because they said you want to have their. I always was taught to have your water taste like the salt of the sea, but that
And
would be that's more healthy.
Yeah, and there's so many other flavorings. So like when I use the Jimmy Dean sausage that you're going to taste, it already has the basil oregano. It's the Italian sausage, so it already has seasoning. So I was raised to season the meat while you cook. Italians teach you to cook it and then season the extra.
So you don't
Very-
like cook away the
Right.
flavors?
Yeah,
But and then they
so you don't over salt
Yeah,
it.
Okay.
that's very good.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So when this is to the right temperature, we are going to add, and I understand I'm not supposed to trust her with the wine,
That is so not true, Ronnie.
but we need a half a cup of wine.
Okay.
And today we are using wine from my friends at Max Creek in Lexington.
Yes.
Max Creek is a wonderful place
Yep.
if you've never been there.
Been there. We've taken our show there. We need to come back to Max
Even if you
Creek.
haven't been there for a while, there's
Yes.
the beautiful enclosed terrace now that seats 100
Oh,
people.
that's
And they
new
have
since we've been there.
music.
And cottages. You can drink and
oh.
stay overnight now.
Well, Ronnie, there you go.
There is no sense to drive.
Carol would never leave.
Oh, this smells really good.
I probably
Don't
set her
let
up.
her encourage you.
So we are using Max Lantern today,
Okay.
which is made from Frontenac grapes that are raised right in Lexington, Nebraska. And all of Max Creek's wines are raised with the
Yeah.
grapes are in Nebraska. So
Smells
we are
good.
going to actually want to drain this a little bit.
Now, do they cook with a lot of wine over in Italy?
Yeah. There is a rumor they teach the Americans buy. Do you have some paper towels or something?
Yes.
I can wash that. Americans cook with cheap wine. And Italians say don't cook with anything you wouldn't want to drink because most of the time you are drinking it while you're cooking. So
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
yeah, so don't cook with anything you wouldn't want to drink. We have tried this recipe with Max Creek. The ringneck red works wonderful, and we have tried it with Max Lantern both, and they're both equally good. So you can try those recipes at home. I also brought a bottle of Celtic Air because if you like Italian and you want to make an Alfredo sauce, if you want to make a white sauce, then you're going to want to use Celtic Air.
Okay.
That's
Good
your
to know.
choice.
Oh,
Good to know.
So we're just going to put that red wine right in there, and we're going to put the lid back on it and let it simmer.
okay.
Now, in the essence of time, what we would do next, time lapse, hurry up. We are going to, you would put in 30 ounces of pureed tomatoes. Or you can use, it's garden season.
Okay.
You can use Roma tomatoes right out of your garden. But I buy the canned ones in the wintertime. They also already have the Italian seasoning, so they already have the basil, the thyme, the oregano, all the good stuff. So our pasta is just about done, thanks to modern.
Yeah.
So all we'll have to do is rinse it, and
We
we'll
got
be
a
ready.
strainer.
I brought
There's
one.
just-
You brought
she
a
brought
strainer.
everything.
Yeah.
And then in addition to that, so that's what you put in. And then you would shred Parmesan.
Okay.
So the last step of our sauce, while it's hot, is we're gonna add 3/4 cup of heavy cream.
Okay.
And let's see if I can read in my glasses. You're supposed to measure from the inside, not the outside, but
Oh, never knew
the outside, not the inside, yeah.
that. Okay.
So if you can see how that turned it this
Sindy.
delicious, thick.
Yes.
Now, I cooked this last night and prepared. My house smelled heavenly. I went to bed and woke up in the middle of the night smelling Italian food.
Yes.
And if it looks like it's getting a little thick, just put another splash or 2 or 10 of wine in there.
Okay.
And let it just keep cooking and simmering. So we put a little more wine in this
Okay.
morning.
And nutmeg. We're
And a
adding
tiny
that
bit
to
of nutmeg.
a little woody flavor.
It makes it a little sweet. We're doing an
okay.
eighth of a teaspoon.
Okay.
It also takes some of the acid out of the tomatoes.
Oh.
So you are going to end up with a
Okay.
belchy tummy.
Now, friends, I know you're going to be sitting there thinking, man, I'd love to make this. We will share. Cindy has shared the recipe with us. We're going to share this recipe on our website. So
Yeah.
we were looking for that later today.
And I was honest and gave you the real recipe.
Yeah, I
Sometimes we
appreciate
good
that. I
cooks, we
appreciate
leave
that.
out one thing or we,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we cheat.
So,
Well, maybe we'll dish this up and plate it, and we'll come back in the. If you can stay, we'll come back at the very
That'll
end
be
of the show
wonderful.
and show how pretty and wonderful it is. So
That'll be
Yeah.
great.
yeah,
All
'cause
right.
we're all hungry right now.
yeah.
Yeah, and I brought plates in, so you're going to get a sample.
Okie
Boom.
dokie.
All right. We have a lot more of NTV's Good Life. Friends, keep it right there. All righty, welcome back. Here it is. Here it
Our
is.
beautiful sauce turned from
Bolognese
this
sauce.
to this.
Yummy,
this.
Completely
delicious.
cooked. And the gals have got some, and they're going to put a little shredded cheese on the top.
Oh, check that out.
It's not the grated Parmesan that I prefer, but it's beautiful.
And it smells yummy.
And this is authentic ragu.
Ah.
Bolognese
Oh
sauce.
my goodness. This is absolutely
So
incredible.
when you finish
Cindy.
cooking the pasta, you want to put it in with the sauce and let it meld for at least 5 minutes. All the flavors can marry. You don't want to just dump it together and eat it.
That's on the next level.
That is way above
That's-
the next level.
Yeah. You hit it out of the park.
Can you
sister.
stay? Like
I'm taking
like
my
for a
food
week.
and leaving.
We're gonna follow you home.
Yeah, we're going to share this recipe on our website,
You're gonna want this,
nebraska.tv. Click on the menu. We'll share that later today. Thank you for being our guest
It's
today.
great.
It has
Come
been
to
a
the house on the
you.
hill.
it's
Yes.
been
anytime.
fun. It has been
We
fun.
will. We have a lot planned with you already.
Yeah.
We've got
I know,
6
that'll
more
be fun.
stories from you just being here. So, all right. Thanks everybody. Have a great weekend.
Thanks.
Bye.